Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 6. On a presentation, our topic about stating facts and opinions, and our members are Rafi Farida, Maistun Askia, and Latifa Safrel. Next. The first one, introduction, will explain by Maistun. To Maistun, the floor is yours.
Definition of a fact. Fact is a piece of information that is generally accepted as true and which can be supported by scientific or other evidence or research, etc. The cheetah is an animal capable of the fastest speed on land. An opinion, on the other hand, is a personal statement of belief. It seems to me that Spanish is an easier language to learn than English. Academic writing needs to be able to express both facts and opinions. Sometimes using facts to support opinions and sometimes supplying evidence to substantiate facts that are not widely known. Next. The purpose of the fact. The purpose is to assist you in expressing your own facts and opinions and in recognizing the difference between them when listening and reading. The following areas are covered in this unit. Number 1. The language used to express facts, focusing on a group of keywords such as data and evidence, and the phrases that explain the statistics found in graphs and diagrams. Number 2, ways of bringing others' view into your writing as evidence. Number 3, expression for presenting opinions both in writing and in speaking. The unit content is key fact words, talking about fact and figures, using others' opinions, giving your own opinion. Next. This key fact word. This section presents a selection of words and phrases that frequently collocate with 5 key fact words. That is data, evidence, facts, information, and statistics. The first is data. This is an uncountable noun. It can be used with some or with a piece or an item of. The pattern is verb plus noun. We can access, acquire, assess, capture, collate, compile, enter, evaluate, examine, gather, obtain, process, retrieve, store data. Noun plus verb. Data can demonstrate, indicate, disprove, show something or that. Adjectives. Data can be inaccurate, current, empirical, financial, out of date, preliminary, reason, relevant. And then evidence. This is an uncountable noun. It can be used with some or with a piece or an item of. The pattern are verb plus noun. We can assemble, attack, challenge, collect, consider, demand, dispute, disregard, evaluate, falsify, gather, interpret, present, provide, question, reject, scrutinize, suppress, throw doubt on, wake up without evidence. Noun plus verb is evidence can conflict with, point to, support something. Evidence can confirm, demonstrate, disprove, indicate, prove, show something or that. Adjectives is evidence can be abundant, ample, circumstantial, compelling, inconclusive, conflicting, damaging, documentary, extensive, vague, or containing a mistake, flimsy or weak, fresh, growing, hard, incontestable, insufficient, irrefutable, mounting or growing, new, overwhelming, reliable, solid, widespread. Next. Number 3 is verb. The pattern are verb plus noun is we can check, distort, establish, examine, explain, ignore, misinterpret, misrepresent, present, fact. We can emphasize the fact that noun plus verb fact can disprove, prove, show, suggest something or that. Facts can emerge. Adjective is basic, disturbing, hard, interesting, little known, relevant, silent, undeniable, well-known fact. Number 4, information. This is an uncountable noun. It can be used with some or with a piece or an item of. The pattern is are verb plus noun. We can absorb, access, demand, disclose, disseminate, exchange, gather, have access to, leak, obtain, record, release, share, store, supply, update, withhold information. Adjectives is information can be inaccurate, accurate, additional, unbased, confidential, detailed, extensive, timely, up-to-date, valuable, vital. Number 5, statistic. This is normally a plural noun which can be used with some. The pattern are verb plus noun. We can analyze, compile, gather, issue, produce, release, statistic. Noun plus verb. Statistic, demonstrate, disprove, indicate, reveal, show, prove, suggest that, support the idea, etc. That. Adjectives, statistic can be important, inaccurate, irrelevant, latest, misleading, out of date, revealing, surprising, up to date. The tip of this thema is as an academic subject, statistic takes a singular verb. Statistic is the study of large quantities of information, and a singular form of the noun is also possible. A poll has produced the surprising statistic that as many as 32% of voters make up their minds in the half hour before they actually vote. Back to moderate.
Next, talking about facts and figures. First one, referring to visual information. Some useful phrases to be aware of when referring to diagrams and other visual information, such as graphs, charts, and tables are This diagram shows, illustrate, or display, as can be seen from in the diagram. It can be seen from in the diagram. We can see from in the diagram that from the diagram it may be seen or concluded that according to the diagram as shown in the diagram. The example, this diagram illustrates the regions that are most affected by drought. As can be seen from diagram, the greatest proportion of American debt is actually owed to the country itself in the form of government's boon. As shown in the diagram, share value rose sharply in 2007 when the merger with 6's plc was announced. Next. Second, describing recent or past trends. There are two useful sentence patterns for describing trends in fact and figure. The first one, present perfect or past simple of be plus adjective plus noun plus in. The example of adjectives are dramatic, gradual, slight, small, steady, rapid, sharp, steep, sudden. The example of nouns are decline, decrease, drop, fall, increase, reduction, rise. The example are there has been a dramatic reduction recently in the number of loans to small businesses. There was a steady rise in the 90 and 1990 in UK births to unmarried mothers. Second one, noun verbs present perfect or past simple of verbs such as arise plus adverb. The example of verbs are decline, decrease, drop, fall, grow, increase, and rise. The example of adverbs dramatically, gradually, slightly, steadily, rapidly, sharply, steeply, and suddenly. The example profits have increased gradually for the electronics company Sheldon plc. Leisure spending fell sharply in the last quarter of 2009. The price of computers has been dropping steadily for the last 10 years. Next, making comparisons. Facts and figures for one country, company, and others are often compared with those for others, with the way they used to be in the past. When talking about amounts, percentage, etc., the preposition by comes between a verb and the number and of come between a noun and a number. The example, economic growth in the UK fell or declined by 0.2% in the second quarter of 2010. Spain enjoyed an increase or rise of 10% in its tourist rate in 2007. Structure with more or higher or lower and other than or as are useful. The example, the Labour Party gained 3% more the public vote than the Conservatives in the local election of 2009. Manufacturing productivity was nearly as high as it was in Germany in 2009. You can also use expression describing multiple amounts, 2 or 3, etc. Times are the verbs double, treble, quadruple. The example, nearly 3 times as many Irish citizens work in the construction industry as in agriculture. The number of Norwegians with access to high-speed broadband doubled between 2005 and 2006. Next, using others' opinion. Reviews of other writers can be used as evidence in your writing. You can paraphrase or you can make a direct quotation. First, using a reporting verb such as comment, point out, observe, state, such as write. The pattern as name plus reporting verb or name plus reporting verb plus that. In the example, as Grover observed, several categories of question can be distinguished in market research questionnaires. 2007-45. Grover points out that several categories of question can be distinguished in market research questionnaires. Note that verbs such as point out, observe, etc. can be used in the past, present, and the present perfect tense. Second, using nouns such as a view or opinion. The patterns, the view or opinion of name is that, or names, opinions, view is that. In names, view or opinion. The example, Steele's view is that the popular reaction to a controversial new building often turned quite quickly from dislike to a kind of affectionate respect. 2004-62. Third, using according to name. The example, according to Wheeler, the temperature at which a material will ignite is, of course, of primary concern in the construction industry. Wheeler, 78. Next. Next one will explain by Rafifa.
Giving your own opinion. In writing, if you want to use a phrase, you could consider expressions such as it is likely or probable that blah blah blah, it seems plausible that blah blah blah. The evidence indicates or suggests that blah blah blah. It can or could in fact be argued that blah blah blah. One possible view is that blah blah blah. On balance, it seems that blah blah blah. One of the main arguments in favor of a change in the law is blah blah blah. For the example is, it could be argued that the internet is forcing us to engage with new concept of copyright. If you feel that your opinion is widely shared, you could write, it is generally accepted that blah blah blah. Most people will agree that blah blah blah. For the example, it is generally accepted that there is a strong case for encouraging consumers to become more responsible in the way that they dispose of rubbish and unwanted goods. Second, in speaking, here is some language that you might find useful, followed by a short dialogue featuring some of the phrases. First, giving an opinion, such as I think, I feel that, I say that, it seems to me that, what I think or believe is. Giving an opinion more emphatically. Example, it seems obvious to me that, as far as I'm concerned. 3. Giving an opinion more formally, such as I believe, I take the view that, it's my view that. Next, disagreeing more emphatically, such as yes, but on the other hand, blah blah blah. I see what you mean, but I agree with you to some extent, but what about the fact that, are you sure that may be so, but disagreeing more emphatically. Example, I disagree in my view. I can agree with that in my view. I don't agree. I'm afraid in my view. And then agreeing, such as I think you are right, that's true, I think so too, I agree. And the last is agreeing more emphatically, such as that's my view exactly, that's absolutely right or true, that's exactly what I think. Thank you. Back to moderator.
Okay, that's the end of our presentation. That's all from us. Thank you and sorry for all our mistakes. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi